life's instructions. My mission is to reunite the family by teaching God's words of wisdom to the youth and their family members. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Forgiven. This is Brenda, and our co host will be stepping in a second. And then we have some live people in the studio, and you'll probably be seeing that too. And we're streaming, and so I'm pointing out because we kind of just rushed in here. But anyway, this is Forgiven, and I'm going to have to point out the mic to him as well. You're going to have to slide that down. There you go. With the pad. So anyway, we're here, and this is Forgiven. We are streaming live today just in case you are on kkvv.com. Remember, we ask you to tune in every week and tell your relatives and friends, and definitely the young people, because that's what this show is all about, getting back to the young people. And so, BZ, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. And as
Praise the Lord
usual,
and
I was getting
welcome
ready
back.
to say, as usual, go ahead and do what you do.
Praise the Lord and welcome back to Forgiving Everybody. If you're listening to us live right now, you're either catching us on www.kkvv.com or 1060 AM or 101.5 FM. If you have any questions or comments that you would like to pose for us or our guests, give us a call at 702-650-KKVV or 5588. And if you're watching us via live stream somewhere else, not in Vegas, give us a call at 800-366-8883.
Okay, we are here at Forgiven, and like I said, we're streaming live because we do have some young people in the studio. We're always excited when we get a chance to have some young people come in. So, before we get on the subject, I'm going to have them say hello and introduce themselves.
Hey everybody, my name is Ronell. You call me R Nova. I'm an artist, aspiring Christian rapper, poet as well, father, newly married. Ministry is the business, just being kingdom minded for my generation and applying that in a way that looks like Jesus coming through me.
Amen.
Fantastic.
Amen. That's exactly what it is. And I am likewise blessed. Also a representative of the congregation Casa de Luz, along with R. Nova here, my brother Ronell Halliburton. I want to say congratulations on your marriage, on your new marriage, brother, or your newly
Thank
acquired ketuvah. So yeah, we're in the place. Thank you for having us.
Fantastic.
All right.
Okay, so we're here, and this is Forgiven, and what we do is we talk to the young people. The ages run from 5 years old all the way up to 25, and the reason why we do that is because, like you said, your generation, there's a lot of people, in this new generation that don't know Jesus, and they don't have people who can tell them about Jesus. So whenever we get an opportunity to have some young people come on, we appreciate that because they do need to know. I keep saying that we need that Joshua generation. And in order to get that, we got to get that information out there. And so whenever I see someone in the younger age that's excited about Jesus, it excites me. Now, I'm going to tell you how I met him. I went to a meeting that I'm going to be a part of, a conference that's coming out. And if you tuned in Saturday, you heard about the conference, Position for Purpose conference that's
Yes,
coming out in
looks good.
April. And he is going to be a part of that. And when he stood up and spoke, I said, I definitely need him to come on to the show. So I invited him, and I'm glad that he invited someone else to come because the more the merrier. It is exciting when they tune in and not only hear, but have the opportunity to see that there are young people in the studio. What we do here at Forgiven is we teach them um, biblically, and we talk on every single subject that there is. Right now, we're talking about the Bible. And because it's the beginning of the year, and a lot of young people, like you were just using your phone, have an opportunity to go on their phone and pick up that information. So, myself and BZ always says that there's no excuse why they
Nope.
can't learn.
Right.
There's no excuse. There's no one on planet Earth who has a smartphone that does not have access, excuse me, does not have access to the word.
Yes, exactly. So, because they have access, we're trying to tell them why it's important to pick that Bible up or go on their app and get that information, and that it can solve any problem
Right.
that you have. So,
Absolutely.
we've been on this for this is the third week,
Hmm.
and we're trying to finish up. We have two paragraphs here. We're trying to finish
Oh,
up.
y'all the last two. Okay.
Yes, but we get so excited and start talking about things, and
These
we
are
never
great.
make it to the end.
These are great points right here. I like it.
Yes, yes. So anyway, we're talking about the Bible, and I'm going to go ahead and have the producer do our sponsorship, the first sponsorship, and then we'll come back, and then I'll have BZ do that second paragraph, and then everybody can talk about that. I mean, the third paragraph, because maybe we can get a chance to get down to the bottom of
Right,
it.
right.
So we're going to go to our producers, and producers, our sponsors, and be right back.
Forgiven is brought to you in part by Deliverance Through the Word Apostolic Church, where the Word of God is taught, pastored by Dr. Paula Cheney. Sunday morning service is at 11 a.m. Wednesday night Bible study is at 7 p.m. Doctrine classes are taught on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 11 a.m. These classes offer all you need to know about the biblical new birth, Jesus and the sonship, and the oneness view of Jesus Christ. Deliverance Through the Word Apostolic Church at 3440 West Cheyenne, Suite 200 in North Las Vegas.
And that's why I have him, because that's what he does. We're back, and we are forgiven. And as you can tell and see, we're talking and just having a good time here. Again, it's because we have someone in the studio that can translate in English what we're talking about when we're talking to the youth. And we explain things not biblically where we use words that no one can understand. We speak plain English, but we do refer you to the Bible, as you know. Forgiven has been on for probably a little over 2 years, and we've had several young people come into the studio. But most of the time, it's myself and BZ teaching the young people what they need to do. This is our second streaming, and we're doing that because you are in the studio. Otherwise, they would not be able to see us, they would be able to hear
Let's
us.
do this.
But we want people to know that people do come in and they care about the young people, they care about the next generation. So that's why we're here.
Yeah.
So BZ is going to take the third one, and then all of us are going to elaborate on it.
All right, then. Reading and studying the Bible helps us see beyond the attractive bright lights and dazzling material things to the painful hook that occurs in sinful temptations so that we can learn from each other's mistakes rather than making them ourselves. Experience is a great teacher, but when it comes to learning from sin, it's a terribly hard teacher. It is so much better to learn from others' mistakes. There are so many Bible characters to learn from, some of whom can serve as both positive and negative role models at different times in their lives.
Fantastic. So it is saying that everything that you need to learn about, think about, or want to do, you'll be able to find in the Bible. And that last sentence I like because there is a lot of positiveness with different people who have contributed, but there is also those who were negative. So can anybody give me one person that was real negative in the Bible? It had to do, I'm going to give you a hint, during Jesus' time, he went and did something that he should not have done.
Oh, there's too many to count, but he may be speaking on Brother Iscariot.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the great betrayer.
So, for those of you who have heard those stories as you were coming up or maybe going to church or doing Sunday school, it teaches you about the good and the bad. So, we're going to discuss what we just read. Studying the Bible is good for what reason?
And studying the Bible is okay. So we have our we have our life. So we live our life according to whatever best way we figure out from life. We learn from other people. We learn from music. We learn from TV. We learn from our parents. Whatever it comes about, and we start playing that out in our life. go through our adolescence, we make our mistakes, then we finally get to our 20s, figure out something about who we really want to be, and we start acting or portraying that lifestyle. And the Bible comes into play because of the wisdom of God. I like the acronym somebody once told me is BIBLE. You know what I mean? And it's basically basic instructions before leaving Earth. And I mean, it made so much sense to me when I was 17. I was going through um, court cases, and I was going through figuring out, is God for me, is not for me, is he even real? I started believing that I was making things happen on my own. I didn't want nothing to do with God because nobody loved me. That's what I feel like. So with the Bible come into play, and it reminds you daily. It's like having somebody that tells you over and over, you're cool, man. You are loved. You are more than a conqueror. You can make it through. Okay, this is how you make it through. This is gonna come at you. So it's like a playbook. You know, it's a playbook for everyday life.
Love it.
Real talk.
Just absolutely love it. That's exactly what it is. And to tell the young people that you can have that and you can hear this and you can live your life based on that, that could lead and guide you rather than your friend telling you, come on, man, let's go ahead and do this,
Right.
or why don't we go over here, or why don't we do this. It's just amazing what you can learn from the Bible.
Absolutely.
As everyone know, I am a determined grandmother, and I always go into the schools and I talk to the young people. And so I was talking to a young lady. Of course, I don't give her name, but I'm just going to show you how God works His love and His wisdom. So the first week I talked to her, and I said, I'm not going to let you talk. I'm going to do all the talking. And so I explained different things to her. And I said, when you make bad choices, they affect you and they affect other people too. And also, when you sin, your sin can get greater and greater and greater. And so I gave her an example. I said, when I was raising my kids, I told them, whatever you do, don't lie. Tell me the truth.
Right.
You're going to deal with the consequences, but they won't be as bad as if I find out that you're lying to me.
Right.
And then I said to them, I said, when you lie, if you have the ability to lie and continue to do that, your next step is stealing. I said, and then from stealing, your next step would be, it would be very easy for you to kill. So I said, it progresses. If you lie,
Yeah,
you
snowball
steal. If you
effect.
steal, you kill, right? Now, out of all the things that I told this young lady that day, she remembered that the next week when I went in. I said, so everything that I told you, out of all of that, what did you remember? And she said, I remember you saying, if you lie, you'll steal, and if you steal, you'll kill. And I said, out of all the stuff I said to you? And she said, yes. And I said, why? She said, because, I lied. And then she said, and I've stole 12 times. And she said, so if you're telling me the next progress is going to be I can take a person's life, I think I need to turn around. I think I need to change my mind. I think I need to do better things.
Right.
So she said, this weekend, my group of friends came over and said, come on, let's go. We're going to go to the store and steal like we've been doing.
Right.
And she backed out.
Oh, amen.
So then they left. Then they came back and they said, we're going to go get in the truck and we're going to get high. She backed out.
Life changing.
Life changing.
Life
Just
changing.
for a few little words that stuck into her head. Oh my goodness. And of course we talk about the Lord.
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying is that whenever you approach someone, the smile and the caring and just one word could change their lives.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the greatest, I think drawbacks of the previous generation, speaking to my generation, is that your role is to nurture, to mature, to tell us, to pass down the wisdom. Like, okay, we know that's been happening since the beginning of time, and it just came to a point of, along with our pride, and along with we have problems not seeing that acted out. We hear it talking, but we don't really hear it see it acting out. You know what I mean? And the things we're gonna follow what's more prevalent in our lives, what's more that we see. Now, what you're saying to me is the truth, and I feel it in my heart. But you know what, man? I hear, Young Jeezy saying this. I see the TV telling me to do this. I go to school. I gotta look cool. I gotta have the chain. I gotta have the kicks. So what I'm gonna do to better my situation, and I need an immediate satisfaction, and that's the kicker right there. That's the part we got to battle right there.
Yes, exactly.
And what do I always say? This world is ruled by
Go ahead and tell them.
microwaves and band-aids.
Microwaves and
I like
bandits,
that.
yeah.
I like that
Yeah.
instant access, and then want to sugarcoat the problems.
So you know what? I heard that recently too about that instant gratification and the fact that everybody else was doing it, and so I leaned towards that. One of the things I also told her is that it's easy to do the wrong things. It's
Yeah, it's
hard.
really easy.
Well, no,
Yeah.
actually, it's easy. The thing about the choices that we make. It's easy to do the right thing. It's just as easy to do the wrong thing.
Right.
But the wrong thing is the one that seems to be more appealing.
Yeah, right,
Yes.
right. More like we said
And
right here,
and
more
and
glimmery.
and you're talking about lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, pride of life, and that seems to be more appealing. So I think I'm going to go this way. Now, I always tell kids this: doing the right thing may not always be easy, but it's always right.
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Nice.
You know you can control the results when you do something right.
Yeah.
When you do something wrong, especially I lived that life, so every time I did something wrong, it always go kind of like I planned it, but it always be all type of crazy nonsense that be added to it that I have to get extra prepared. That's why the term "stay ready," so you have to get ready, is really serious because you have to really be that way. But also, once I started implementing, let me try to let me try this Jesus thing out and see how the Bible is gonna apply to my life. You start doing one thing, then you get bold enough to do another thing. Then it's like, wait a minute. All it really was in my head and what I think people gonna think about me.
Right.
And we were just talking about that last week with the
Yes.
phone call we got in with do the kids have a problem with reading the Bible? And I was like, no, I don't think the kids have a problem with reading it. I just think the kids have a problem with what they think other kids are going to think that they're doing by reading it,
Oh yeah,
and the
that's
whole peer pressure thing. So,
Huge. Huge
but
factor.
the thing is you read and study and study. You grow and you grow and you grow. Just like plants, human beings. If we're not growing, what are we doing?
stagnated.
No. What if a plant's not growing? What is it
Oh,
doing?
It's
dying.
dying.
It's dying.
Amen. Amen.
Real talk.
Amen.
So
Well, one of the reasons why I told her it was hard. It was hard to do the right thing and easy to do the wrong thing is because everybody's doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You tend to go towards all those who are doing the wrong thing. My group of friends, we go out and we do this, which is wrong to do, and you know it's wrong, but you was doing it anyway. But now when she said no, she said, then they looking at her like she's crazy. What's happening with you? What do you mean no? We always do this.
well, look at what she did.
Exactly.
Now her friends are over here, right? This is her friends over here on the right, and this is her on the left. Broad is the way to destruction, and it's going to be a whole lot of people there. Narrow is the path
Yes.
to life, and
Yep.
there's only going to be a few. She took the choice of the few
Right,
as opposed to the many,
right.
Right.
and the majority is always wrong.
I want to break something down because it's so easy to say like, okay, read the Bible, do this, do that, do this, do that. I think one of the biggest things that helped me was that we always have in my life, in my world, in my circle. Every time I wake up and what I wanted to do in life, it was easy to do what I was doing because of the goal and the purpose I was trying to get to. Now, I need my reasoning. So, if to make a change or to start doing something that I know is right, or just to try and see, I ain't like reading, I ain't like writing, I ain't like doing any of that stuff. I wanted to, instantly get it on TV, play a song or whatever. I'm doing 20 things at one time anyway. I'm not finna sit still for 5 minutes. It's so easy to sit still for 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes. It's so easy to sit still to read one sentence out the Bible. That's what I started doing. I read one sentence. But once you start putting your mind to read that one sentence, you're gonna think, I gotta check my messages. I gotta get something to eat. I gotta go to the microwave. I gotta go to the store. You know what I mean? All type of distractions. pop
The
up.
spirit of distraction.
And,
Yep,
I've been
absolutely.
fighting that all week.
Yep.
It's crazy you say that.
Yep.
But if our reasons are greater to follow the Lord or to make that change, it has to be greater than our reasons to stay the same. Like one of my pastors told me, Brother Fernando told me, the pain of staying the same, the pain of change has to be greater than the pain of staying the same. Because both life is painful. the life I lived in the streets was extremely painful.
Right,
I
right.
just bared it up and saying I had to just be tougher. I had to just
Yeah.
silence my emotions. I had to dead my feelings and just keep going. It was painful. I had to just go harder, beast out. Now I've been living this. I've been saved. I've been living this sold out life since February 2009, and it's just as hard. However, I have to do the same exact thing. I have to beast out and tell myself, you know what? The same way if I didn't have no money, I knew how to get it. It didn't come to me. It didn't never come to me. I had to go get it. I had to stay out all hours of the night. I had to know my mom was mad. I had to hear her mouth. I had to go all these different things. The same way when I live my life now, I know I gotta get up. First thing I want to do, I want to watch TV or I want to play the game. I want to get on my phone. Discipline. I have to be disciplined. So it's the same. I had to be disciplined to get money. I had to be disciplined to read my Bible. It's the same thing.
That's real
Yes.
talk.
We're going to give you an opportunity to speak because you're over there all quiet and
Oh,
everything.
man, this man got
Oh,
loads of
absolutely, just being a
loads of
sponge
knowledge.
here and a reaffirmationist. Everything everybody's saying right now is completely clarifying.
Okay. So you agree with us then that
Yes.
reading the Bible is really important because it gives you information?
I call it funda spiritual, like fundamental.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
From the core, of who we are, it reaffirms just what that design is meant to evoke from us. Just like Brother Ronell here is emphasizing that either way it's going to be a challenge, but the whole point is that God made us to be like Him, and there's nothing about God that is weak or well, I kind of get into some of the reclamation of certain words like negative or stress, because those can also be good things. But really, just to keep a plain focus about it, everything belongs to God, and we are supposed to be able to enjoy life with Him. But that takes a certain mode of being corrected because we live in a world that is infected with sin, and there's nothing correct about sin. So we have to learn how to allow ourselves to be corrected in order to be in a progressive lifestyle.
Fantastic. We have one more sponsor we need to go to, so we're going to go to them and then we'll be right back. This show is sponsored by Tabernacle Christian Broadcasting, TCB, taking care of business, God's business. They offer broadcasting opportunities to individuals and ministries. Location is 910 Valley View Boulevard in Las Vegas, and the telephone number is 702-664-2078, push option 2, or long distance 888-523-4866, option 2. Visit their website at holytabernacleoutreach.org. So we thank Tabernacle Christian Broadcasting, TCB, taking care of God's business. And we're back, and we're talking to two wonderful gentlemen who know Christ, and they are reading the Bible. So you know that our show is 30 minutes. I hope you tuned in and saw what we were talking about on kkvv.com. I am inviting them both back. They can come back at any time because the subject is fantastic, and we need to hear young people's voices. So you are definitely welcome to come back and be on the show. And we cover several different subjects, so it may be something else when you come back. You may want to come back next week and we can finish up the Bible. We got one more paragraph, believe it or not. Anyway, for all of you who are tuning in to Forgiven, know that you are forgiven. Know that God loves you and He wants you to be in His family. So we tell you every week that you are forgiven. Thank you for tuning in to Forgiven, and don't forget to spread the word and spread the news. We'll talk to you next week on Forgiven. Have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you then.
Bless.
God bless.
Forgive one another as God has in Christ forgiven you. Thank you for tuning in to Forgiven. You are welcome to return next week at 5:32 p.m. to gain wisdom and knowledge on how to reunite your family by allowing yourself to be forgiven. Send any request to brendee218@gmail.com. That's BRENDEE218@gmail.com. Let's make a decision to make a change, to stand up and reclaim your youth. Please tune in to Forgiven next Thursday at 5:32 p.m. here at KKVV 1060 AM or kkvv.com.
God has things He wants people to know. And one of the ways of doing that is through faithful teaching on KKVV Christian Talk Radio. The program you just heard is one example, and there are many others. Give your prayer and financial support to the ministries that produce these programs here at KKVV Las Vegas.
Charles Capps invites you to join him for Concepts of Faith.
Don't get the idea, and if you don't get it understood, you're going to be crippled in your prayer.